Good morning and welcome to Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig. I am Craig.
And I am also not that, but I am Dan.
This is definitely Two Scoops.
You're watching Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig, your sunrise reminder that things could get worse, so laugh at them while you still can.
Yay!
Good
We're
morning,
here.
Craig. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Nice of you to join us.
Apparently, I have to change my alarm from 7 o'clock on this day here.
You got one day off on Tuesday, and you just got
I
comfortable.
know. Yeah, I was just like yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna sleep till 7 instead of 6:45 because that sounds better. And then I didn't change it. And this morning my alarm went off. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to get up. And then I see your text. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I set an alarm for 6 accidentally, and then I set another one for 6:30, and I thought I turned off my 6 alarm. And then it went off at 6, and I woke up and I was like, well, I might as well just stay up. And then I fell back asleep very, very hard and woke up again around 6:50. So I beat you by 10 minutes, but I'm here.
We are
And,
terrible at this. Absolutely terrible.
well, that goes
Um,
without saying. I think if they've listened to it enough, they know that by now. But
that's true. That's
uh,
true.
but you've got something to talk about, and it's not Kanye West. Let me
It's not
push yours.
Kanye West at
There you
all.
go.
It's almost as good as Kanye West. It's about the 5 foot tall autistic Adolf Hitler girl.
They're very
Um,
common these days.
yes, but this one is specifically Greta Thunberg. She's back in the news again,
How
and she
dare
is
she?
no. What's that?
How dare she?
Yeah, she is no longer uh, on the push for climate change because it's too late basically for climate change, and she's not even going to the climate. The World Climate Summit or whatever the thing is that she goes to every year. She's not doing that anymore because we're not doing a good enough job. Now her new agenda, her
Does
new
she really
plan.
not? Like, are you joking, or has she kind of backed off on that stuff? I don't follow her closely enough to know what she's been up to.
I don't know that she's backed off. I think it's more to the point where, hey, it's too late for this. Now we need to, instead of combating climate change, now we need to combat the West's oppressive capitalism. We
Ah,
need to
yes.
overthrow capitalism because capitalism is the reason why the climate is the way it is.
Can
So
her and can her and David Hogg just hook up and
I
birth the
was,
Antichrist already?
good God, I was thinking that myself. It's like there's 2 people in the world that I would love to just see, like, disappear. One is David Hogg and one is Greta Thunberg. It's just like, how okay, you're 19 and you look like you're, like, 14 still. What do you know about oppressive capitalism, really? Like,
Let's find
what
out.
what what economics do you actually know as whatever sheltered, um, climate enthusiast that you've been in the last couple of years?
And does it specifically say Western capitalism? Because
Yes, it does.
why
It
does
says
she care what we're doing over here? She's not
because we're the ones that
from here.
destroyed the climate. We destroyed her
Oh,
climate,
it's almost
so
like when Disney talks about how racism is such a terrible thing and we need more black people in movies, and they shrink them down really small in the posters for other. But like, are we just this bastion of like self-loathing to the extent that everybody knows that they can make money off of telling us how shitty we are over here?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like, people like, her entire career, I guess you could call it, her goal in life growing up was, I don't like those people over there, so I'm gonna grow up and I'm going to shit on them for my entire being.
Nice.
Um, it's not just over there either. It's people over here too. Again, David Hogg, what's he been doing for the last 5 years?
Right.
Shitting out Western culture. So, Greta Thunberg has always been an outspoken advocate for the environment and for the disenfranchised in the world, and she's not going to stop anytime soon.
No shit.
Her newest call to action, yeah, because it's like a fucking drug to them. It's just like, I
Or
got. His
It's like
attention.
a career that they keep getting paid to do.
Who
Yeah, you're
is
not going to
paying
stop to talk for money.
who is paying Greta Thunberg? That's what I'd like to know. Who's who's really behind Greta Thunberg?
George Soros and a couple of Rothschilds, I would bet.
Oh, probably. Her newest call to action is just as passionate, as the 19-year-old fears we're headed to a place of no return. Greta Thunberg thinks we need a system-wide transformation, and overthrowing capitalism is the best place to start. That's just starting point. Just like, things aren't working out. Where should we start to make changes? Well, let's just fucking overthrow the whole system. That makes the most sense. The
I
system
mean,
that,
that is my goal, but in a different
yeah.
way.
So it's like, yes, it is the Western, and she's not from the West. She's from like Sweden,
Sweden.
Sweden. Um, but that is the economy that runs the entire world, though. The capitalist economy runs the whole fucking world. Because if America's economy goes, the whole world goes. And
We'll see.
she,
Give it a couple months, we'll find out.
I guess. It goes on, it says, today the climate book is finally released in many parts of the world. Apparently, she wrote a climate book. I want to use my platform to share the reality of the climate crisis, to communicate a holistic picture of how the world is changing and what we need to do about it.
I need to
That's
get
why
this
I
book.
created this book. She created this book. She didn't write this book.
Right. That's how you know it's legit. Like, first off,
Yeah.
it's called The Climate Book, and then she
Yeah.
created it, which means she probably approved whatever somebody wrote down for it, just like she does
Yeah.
for all her speeches.
Yes. It's just like, yeah, that sounds good. Greta, what if you said in here that, yeah, definitely say that part. Definitely say that part about Western culture. That part sounds great too.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the four parts to this. There is no normal, and we're never going to return to it. How could you return to it if there is no such thing? How does that, like, that just doesn't make sense? Because she says we are never going back to normal again because normal was already a crisis. Hmm.
Okay.
Just
So
like,
we're not in a crisis because
I
there's no
don't,
normal.
or more of a
The
crisis.
normal is a crisis, but there is no normal, and we're not going back to it. So there's no crisis because there's no normal, and normal is a crisis.
I feel like she was smoking pot when she wrote that.
Or she's just stupid. Don't blame the pot.
Okay, she's just stupid. What what we refer to as normal is an extreme system built on the exploitation of people and the planet.
Oh,
It is a system defined by colonialism, imperialism, and oppression and genocide by the so-called global north to accumulate wealth that still shapes our current world order. So
what's the global north?
I hadn't heard that one. I've heard like Western culture. I hadn't heard like global North. Is that like now we're demonizing the Northern Hemisphere
I
just
don't
like
know. You're just
hemis
wrong no matter where you are.
uh,
Got to be southern and eastern in order to be oppressed enough to matter.
but the Southern Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere, those are the really shitty countries.
Exactly.
Those are the ones nobody wants to live in and are like migrating to the North and the West.
Yep. That's why
Anyways,
they're better because they're not
yeah.
thriving and destroying the planet with their thriving.
Got it. All right. World leaders, number two, world leaders care too much about profit and not at all about people. I probably. Greta Thunberg believes that this obsession with capitalism is what got us in the mess we're currently in. What we are expecting now should be exactly what we should be expecting.
Oh God.
So number one, there is no normal because normal was already a crisis and we're never going back to normal. Number two, what we are experiencing now should be exactly be what we should be expecting. What we're experiencing now should be exactly what we should be expecting. So that
Mm.
those are her two talking points there.
Mm.
Uh,
It's pretty deep.
get a lot out of this, aren't we?
I need to get this
Um,
book.
yes, yes, definitely. I'm gonna put it on my shelf back there. It says she said during a speech at the Royal Festival Hall to launch the climate book. Is that really the name of it?
Yep.
I thought she was just talking like,
No, I saw it on the table in one of the pictures when I was
oh,
pulling up the image for this. It just said the
I thought,
climate book. I was like, is that a real thing? I didn't realize it was her book.
all right. Thunberg, number 3, Thunberg called on other young activists to come forward to change the world. She said during her speech, there are millions of people like her around the world ready to fight for what's right and fight for her right to party.
We are still here,
We are still
said the
here.
12-year-old.
We are
Still.
not planning on going anywhere. Yeah, still for what, the last like 3 years?
3 to 5 years tops since she gave her little pissy fit.
Young people all over the world are stepping up, showing that our leaders messed with the wrong generation.
Uh-huh.
Uh, okay. Um, the,
You
the
mean
generation
birthed, I think is what they meant to say. Birthed the wrong generation.
the generation she refers to is the generation that gave us safe spaces, and yeah, that's about it. That's about the
In litter
equivalent.
boxes for furries. I don't care if it's made up.
uh,
I'm sticking
Yes,
with it.
yes, that is the generation she's referring to. So we've got we're not going back to normal because normal doesn't exist, and yeah, and then she's got we're experiencing what exactly we should be expecting, and then she's got we're still here and not going anywhere. I mean, she's saying so many profound things here, like
Mm-hmm.
so much profoundness here. Number 4, this is the finale, the grand finale here. She recently called out the COP27 as a colossal scam. You know the big thing that made her fucking famous? The big climate uh conference, the UN's
The
climate
only
conference.
thing she's done to anybody's knowledge.
The only reason anybody knows her name, that's all a colossal scam. Well, guess what, Greta? If the whole thing's a fucking scam, the your whole rise to fame was a fucking scam as well. Like your whole being is n- there's no truth to it. So you just called out the thing that gave you any credibility, and
Not to
you're fucking
mention, capitalism and greedy corporations destroying the planet. That's what gave her a rise to power too. So she should be a little bit
good.
more grateful. As soon as this is
Good.
all cleaned up and fixed, as soon as we get rid of diesel and fossil fuels entirely, and everybody's dying in the streets because they can't afford energy, then uh, she will get the future that she always wanted. But she's blaming the people who are giving her her career. As soon as we get that, her career goes away.
Yes, absolutely. She's no longer useful once that happens. She says the conference there, the COPs are mainly used as an opportunity for leaders and people in power to get attention.
Oh my god.
Shut up, silly woman.
Yes.
Wow.
Leaving capitalist
Hold
consumerism and
on.
market.
Hold on. No.
No, we got to go back.
She has a problem with people going there just to get attention.
Yes. I thought we could just leave that one because that one was ironic enough to just
I
we're just
mean, that none of them are more hypocritical than than that, because that's literally all you've done since anybody
mm,
heard your name.
let's
But
go to
continue.
the climate thing and get attention. That's it.
Has she thrown any
Leaving
soup yet?
not yet.
Mm.
I did read in the last article that wouldn't let me pull it up this morning that I feel like she is part of a group that was a spinoff of that group. I can't remember the name of that group either. The God, what is it? Something oil.
No more oil or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
Something
that sounds
stupid.
like a child came up with the
Yes.
name?
Yeah, I believe at midnight last night I read she is part of a group that's a spinoff of that group. So
Shocking.
yeah, we got that going for us. Leaving capitalist, this is it. We got to roll after this. Leaving capitalist consumerism and market economics as the domina. I'm guessing that's dominant because it's not letting me read the whole thing. Dominant stewards of the only known. What the hell is happening here? I don't know. It won't let me
It gets
view.
more cut
There
off
we go.
the more you zoom in.
Leaving capitalist consumerism and market economics as the dominant stewards of the only known civilization in the universe will most likely seem, in retrospect, to have been a terrible idea. But let us keep in mind that just when it comes to sustainability, all previous systems have failed too. Just like all current political ideologies, socialism, liberalism, communism, conservatism, centrism, you name it,
The
they
thing
all have failed. But in fairness, some have certainly failed more than others. So what do you want? None of it works. It's all shit. They all fail. All the systems, all the governments, all the political ideologies, all the economic ideologies, they all fail. What do you want?
We are screwed. Here's some
What the fuck
buzzwords by
do
my
you
book.
want?
That's all this
Yeah,
is.
that's all this is. And that's all I got too.
Also,
She's
quite hilarious that she takes the time to really focus on the evils of capitalism in order to sell her new book.
I was gonna say that too. Capitalism is the only reason a book like yours would sell. Actually, no. In like communist society, we would all be forced to read her book, and she would be happier about that.
It'll be grade school curriculum within like a year. So,
Well, it sounds like the World Economic Forum definitely got a hold of her somewhere. So,
well, yeah. I mean, they created her in a lab, so yeah. That's
Well,
why
Klaus
she's all, fucked up.
Klaus Schwab literally pushed her out his asshole.
Anyway, speaking of, I don't know, the Jews, because I don't have a better segue. We're gonna talk about them, and we're gonna open with this is not the main story, but it's too funny not to share.
The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what
God.
hospital, and what media it went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor. The thing about
What? Dude, the guy is doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on this. I mean, we all kind of hint around about it at some point in our lives. This guy is just like, I'm going there. I'm here.
He just can't help himself either. Even when he's like holding back, and just like his comedic timing for like, I'm not gonna say it. I can't say it. It was the Jews. Like, I don't know. I found it hilarious, and it's a good segue into this. This is Kyrie Irving. He's a sports ball guy. Do you watch basketball at all, Craig?
No,
Okay.
I watched literally maybe 2 minutes of basketball since Michael Jordan retired from the Bulls in 1998. So
Nice. So this is pretty long. I'll play just the beginning so you can get the setup, the premise. But he's talking about a documentary. They ask him about a documentary that he shared, which talks about the whole theory of like black Jews versus white Jews or something. And that's a debate that's going around right now. I don't
so
have
now
a Jew.
we're having now
What?
we're having a Jewish race war.
Yes, exactly. I don't have a Jew in this fight, and I don't think Kyrie Irving does either. He's just like, yo, I just shared a documentary, and here, we'll hear it from him.
Given to Christ, Philippians 2:11, and my name translates in the Hebrew language as Yahweh. So I went on to Amazon Prime. I was like, you know what, let me see if there are any documentaries on Yahweh. So went in the search bar, typed in Yahweh, that came up. Went out and shared it on my platform. That was my night. In terms of the backlash, or what people call it, we're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. And I'm not a divisive person when it comes to religion. I embrace all walks of life. You see it on all my platforms. I talk to all races, all.
So he shared a documentary that they found to be problematic because it talked about the Jewish conversation. Again,
Okay.
I don't have a black Jew or a white Jew in this fight. I don't care. You guys can fight amongst yourselves, and I'm just here for the commentary. The real thing that I wanted to focus on is the media's response to this, because they
First of all, does Kyrie really translate into Yahweh? Because that just doesn't add up to me. That doesn't sound right.
I have no idea, and I don't care. But yeah, he specifically says that he wasn't even like trying to make a point in sharing this documentary. He just found it interesting and shared it, and here's how they responded to that.
As most people who share random things at like late at night, they're just like, huh, okay, that's interesting, share. Most of them aren't putting too much thought into it and be like, oh, I'm going to make a statement here tonight. I mean, we do, but most people don't.
Now, I wonder how like how much the documentary really was about that. Like, did they have to go and watch this documentary to try and dig up some dirt on this guy or what? I don't know, but
Probably.
whatever. Here's how they responded.
So we can move on from this, and I could talk about the game and go home to my son Elohim and my wife Marlene. Okay.
Am I to take it that this was what you shared was not something that you've even watched? This was you did watch
Oh.
it, either watch it or read it.
Oh shit.
Keep in mind, this is a press conference following a basketball game.
Basketball.
Yes.
This
yeah.
is like the post-game press conference. You can tell by the backdrop there.
Yep.
A whole bunch, good and bad, about the truth of our world.
So then, do you, I guess, understand or not understand those that might imply that that work had anti-Semitic leanings in it? I only ask this because the tweet is still up there, so I
We're in
presume-
2022. It's on Amazon, a public platform. Whether you want to go watch it or not is up to you. There's things being posted every day. I am no different than the next human being, so don't treat me any different. You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have over top of the adultery of, oh, you cannot post that. Why not? Why not? Everybody posts everything else. You saw the word nigger going up on Twitter, right?
Whoa!
I don't hear uproar on that. I'm not here to be divisive on what's going on this or that. I'm not comparing Jews to blacks. I'm not comparing white to black. I'm not doing that. That conversation is dismissive, and it constantly revolves around the rhetoric of who are the chosen people of God. And I'm not here to argue over a person or a culture or religion on what they believe. No, this is what is here. It's on a public platform. Did I do anything illegal? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did I do anything illegal? Did I hurt anybody? Did I harm anybody? Am I going out and saying that I hate one specific group of people? So out of all the judgment that people got from me posting, I just, without talking to me, and then I respect what Joe said, but there has a lot to do with the not ego or pride of how proud I am to be an African heritage, but also to be living as a free black man here in America, knowing the historical complexities for me to get here. So I'm not going to stand down on anything that I believe in.
Do you think
I'm only
that this
gonna
is
get
going
stronger
to stop
because
them?
I'm not
Do you
alone.
think that this will
I
shut
have a
them
whole
up?
army around me.
Is this a good enough answer?
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to.
Yep.
My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults. And
So it was like
it's
an
true.
old
So,
post.
I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist
That's what they need
for
to
Alex
ask him
Jones or
about
anything.
after the basketball
I'm just
game.
there to post. And it's funny. Chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and
The promotion of,
about it. I just exist.
and to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book,
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me me
By
in front of
putting it
the,
out there,
the
people
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put
promoting.
it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not
you put
stuff,
things out there for a living, right?
right, but my stuff
Great.
is
So
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
another
You're
human
free
being.
to post
I can
what,
post whatever I want. So
can post
say
what-
that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
but Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to
post-
understand anything from you.
But it's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no
posting
people that
what
you're
you
making
did,
up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question. Next
anybody
question. Do
is
you
going
guys
to
have
look
any more
at
questions
it
for
and they're
me?
going to say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a clip.
anti-Semitic
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
but you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie, basketball related.
Okay. I don't.
Ugh.
Nazi fags.
My son talks about Irving. Is that his
Kyrie.
name? Kyrie Irving, whatever. A lot. I don't know who he is. I don't pay attention to basketball at all. But I'm gonna pay attention more to this guy because I love him so much.
Yep.
Not because necessarily he's posting this shit. I mean, yeah, a little more because he's like, I'm gonna post this shit, and more because he's like, who fucking cares? I posted something. I wanted to read something and I found it interesting, so I posted it. He's not coming out like Kanye and like doubling and tripling down. It's just like, well, it's out there, so yeah, fuck it, blah blah blah. And he's not like this spokesperson for it. He's just like, I read something. I found it interesting. I posted it. And y'all need to shut the
Well, can
fuck
you
up.
explain? You do understand how that seems? Like, like it just shows you where we are as a society, where you can't go to a basketball game without being grilled on your spicy tweets of
Yes.
sharing a documentary that somebody finds to be potentially, possibly off color or on color. I don't know. But fun fact about Kyrie Irving, he's also not sure about the shape of the Earth. So,
Oh. Oh
so
damn. So yeah,
yeah, so cool
this
guy,
is
and
the
he makes
day.
me care about sports every now
I
and
was
then.
gonna say, this is gonna make Dan Smots watch basketball. If this is what it takes to make Dan Smots watch sports, we'll take it. We'll take the win.
The flat Earth stuff came out quite a while ago, and I was like, let's keep an eye on this guy. I didn't keep an eye on this guy, but now I'm more into it. Not because he's, he's digging, he's thinking, he's going down the rabbit holes, and he's not afraid to chat about it. And Shaquille O'Neal is apparently a flat earther too, but
Hmm.
the NBA's got some I don't know, some woke dudes there apparently.
The
And
reason the reason why Shaq believes the Earth is flat,
I think Kyrie
or
was also against the mandates and all that stuff too.
or knows that the Shaq knows the Earth is flat, is because Shaq is forced to stay in one spot in the world, and the
And he can
central spot,
see
because
farther than he should be able to see from that height even.
that, and he's so large that if he would shift his weight one direction, the whole Earth would tip over. The flat Earth would just tip off of its like central point. So the fact that they do not allow Shaq to move from his one location, he's like, guys, I got to tell you, I can't come to your party tonight because I would literally tip the Earth over. And that's how it works. That's that's science.
So Kyrie Irving is pretty dope. Yeah, he made it very clear. He did great in just making it very clear this isn't about religious discrimination or racial discrimination or anything. I shared a documentary. Please leave me alone about this.
Yes.
I can do what I want, and you can't stop me. I broke no rules, much less committed no
Yes.
crimes. And they can't help themselves. It was like what 5-6 questions into
Hmm.
this basketball press interview, and he's done. He sets the mic down, and you hear one of the reporters at the end that's like, Kyrie, basketball question. Like you have to
Like
specify, hey, I'm gonna ask you about the actual point that you're here. I promise, in order
it's
to
like,
get him to say.
do you wanna talk about that sweet dunk I had in the 3rd quarter, or are we just gonna, like, bitch about this? Because
Well,
this is
in 2012, you posted a tweet that said Alex Jones might not have been incorrect. Can you please explain that tweet for us?
yes. So, yeah, the fact of the matter is that, like, he is reposting, promoting, because that seems to be the question here. Now, let's look at Amazon, because he said very several times, this is on Amazon. It's
Yeah.
on a public platform. So does that mean Jeff Bezos
Yes.
promoting the shit too?
A
Because I
lot
think
more than Kyrie Irving is. Yes. Some
yes,
might
for a
even
lack
argue that these journalists, or whatever you want to call them, are
yes,
promoting it a lot more than Kyrie Irving did as well.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like the fact that you keep bringing it up, doesn't that give it more attention than Kyrie gave it by just retweeting it one night? Um,
None of us were paying attention to Alex Jones until you guys sued the crap out of him. So,
that too. So yeah, just it's almost like they want those things to be promoted more.
hmm,
Hmm. It's all conspiracy.
let's ponder that
Yes.
off air.
Oh, okay.
Craig, good morning and welcome to Two Scoops. Where can people find you?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on my show. You can
Thank
find
you
me
for deciding to show up to your show.
yes, no problem. You can find me in all my things at breakthebellpod.com or all over the podcast platforms. I am the Break the Bell podcast, and you can find me all over social media at the handle at Break the Bell Pod. This week we talked in depth and got really weird about the whole Pelosi hammer scandal.
Nice.
So yeah, go check that one out. It got really, really gross and weird really fast. So check that out. That was released yesterday.
Or you can check out my episode that came out yesterday about the Pelosi scandal, where a naked man broke in and beat him with a hammer. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this. It's
Yes.
quite fascinating. I had Adam Nutter on. We dug probably not as deep as you, but
No, probably
we
not.
made funnier jokes than you. I assure you. Find
I
that.
don't know. I don't know about that.
Find that and everything that I do at thesystemisdown.tv or at TSID Pod on Twitter, which is where I'm the most active, but all the links to all the things are at TSID, or nope, thesystemisdown.tv.
You don't even know your own damn website. It's sad. It's a sad world we live in when Dan doesn't know his own website.
You know what I do know is that on my website you can buy this sweet ass shirt.
That's awesome.
Yep.
What just happened? Yeah, you should put up this image here, because the body cam footage, nobody knows, the body cam footage from that night was released. And this is what the first thing they saw when they entered the house of Mr.
Nice.
Pelosi.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, Craig.
I am convinced that the third person, unknown person that opened the door was definitely Nancy Pelosi.
I think so too. Yes. This has been Two Scoops.
This has been Two Scoops Morning News every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. Central or whenever we feel like it. Until next time, hang in there, America.